Teleprompters can be great, but sounding like a stunned robot, not so much. Watch on to find out how to avoid that effect. Hello, I'm Lauren Sergi, and welcome to Communication Q&A, where I tackle your pressing communication and public speaking questions. Now, before we dig in, please do hit that like and subscribe button so that you can stay on top of your communication skills with all of the great content that I've got coming your way. Today's question is from Fatima, who writes, "Hello Lauren, my company's been doing a lot of virtual and pre-recorded sessions for our advisors and clients. I'm usually brought into Emcee to introduce other speakers and to give updates. We use teleprompters for both our recorded and live sessions. My company likes to keep the messaging very tight, and we need to record so many of these that we really can't memorize everything in advance, hence the teleprompters. I find that I come across as very stiff and unnatural when using the teleprompter. It comes across as though I'm reading from a screen, which isn't the image I want to cast. Can you advise me on how to seem more natural when using these teleprompters? Thank you very much. I really enjoy your videos, Fatima." Well, thank you, Fatima. I really enjoy making these videos. Now, teleprompters can be very useful tools, especially if you need to record a lot of presentations or segments like your introduction and MC work in a short period of time. There's a knack to using them, though, and to sounding natural instead of as though you're using a teleprompter. There are two things that tend to create that teleprompter robot effect. Number one, it's a stiff, formal script, and number two, a flattened tone and expression. Let's look at those script issues first. Written and spoken language are often very different in tone and in style. Most people tend to write more formally than they speak, unless they're used to writing a lot of spoken content. This means that many teleprompter scripts end up using language that we would never use in normal conversation. It uses written instead of spoken language. So you get lots of complex words or turns of phrases that are really awkward when you say them out loud. Formal written scripts also tend to use whole words instead of contractions, saying we are instead of we're, let us instead of let's, do not instead of don't. You end up sounding like Commander Data from Star Trek. You need to correct these script issues before you record or go live. If the scripts have been written by someone else, like your company's communication or marketing team, get the files a few days before you need to be on camera. Read through the scripts out loud, it must be out loud, and see if they sound like you. When you come across words or expressions that you would never normally use or just can't say comfortably, strike them out and replace them with something that works better. Next, look for all of those words that we would normally say as contractions, like they would, and replace them with the contraction, they'd. You'll want to run through the script several times so you can find those contractions and catch all of those unnatural or awkward phrases. Then, update your teleprompter files or submit the changes to the person in charge of them. If the scripts were written by someone else, you might get some pushback from the writer, but stand your ground on these changes. As long as you aren't messing about with the substance of what you're saying, your adjustments should be just fine. Now, let's look at that flat tone and expression. You want lots of variety in your voice when reading from a teleprompter. Lots of up and down, dragging out some words and saying others more quickly. This imitates how we naturally speak. When we go to read, though, we use a different area of our brain than when we're speaking naturally. So reading takes a lot of focus, and often we basically forget to read with expression because the reading area of our brain is activated, not the talking area. Reading out loud with expression is a learned skill and takes some practice. So grab those scripts and read them out loud. Once you become a little familiar with what you're saying, adjust your focus from the what you're saying onto the how you're saying it. Practice reading the script out loud several different ways, playing around with your pitch, your tone, and your speed. Mark down what you want to do on your practice script. You can underline words that you want to emphasize, make notations where you want to speak quickly or slow down, and so on. Then, Run through it again. You'll become familiar with the script and how you want to sound. That's going to make it easier to speak with a lot of expression come showtime. I know this sounds like a lot of work and that it might be time-consuming, but unless you're preparing a very long talk, making adjustments to the script and practicing different expressions doesn't really take as much time as you're afraid it's going to. Plus, it doubles as practice. This process will help you become familiar with the scripts before you take your place in front of the teleprompter, and that will make it much easier for you to feel comfortable and sound natural. I hope this helps you liven up those teleprompter talks, Fatima. And to everyone watching, I hope this gives you some insight on how you can sound like yourself in front of that teleprompter. Now, before we sign off, please remember to click that like button and subscribe to my channel for the latest updates. And if you'd like even more resources on business communication and presentation skills, head over to laurensergi.com and sign up in the pop-up. Thank you so much for joining me on Communication Q&A. I look forward to seeing you again soon.